Okay, welcome to JCE Connect. Uh, in the previous class, we were discussing about one problem based on logistic curve method. So this is the last class of your the first module. Um, this is the last problem. Uh, they may ask or they may not. Not sure. Most of the time they won't ask this, but still, we will discuss this problem. Um, how to substitute the values of uh, how to calculate the fire demand using different formulas. So we have around three formulas are available to calculate the rate of fire demand. I already explained that what is the fire demand. So the fire demand is nothing but um, it is the demand for um, demand for using it for fire fighting. For example, how much water is required to stop the fire, either it is in residential buildings or it is in public places, uh, or it is in some of the forest areas. But as I already said that mm, the forest fires is not included in all these calculations whatever we are doing it, but for residential purpose how exactly it can be done. So normally we are using fire hydrants in each of the streets. So it's normal that fire hydrants has should be the capacity of 100 to 150 kilonewton per meter square. That much pressure it has to give. Means if the jet is there, jet has to go with that much pressure, 100 to 150 kilonewton per meter square. That we already discussed. Then um, normally it should be about um, the flow rate what we are talking about. The two are very different. Flow and pressure both are different. Flow is measured in I already said that flow is measured in mm, flow is measured in it is in liters per minute or meter cube per minute or liter per second or meter cube per second. So this we will use it, but uh, pressure pressure is always force by area. So force is it is given by Newton, then area it is in meter square. So you can use this as a kilonewton per meter square. Then I already said that it has to give 100 to 150 kilonewton per meter square. These two has to be satisfied. Then we have discussed different formulas to calculate the rate of fire demand. So the first formula, that is the Kuchling formula. So it is nothing but 3182 root of P, where P always it is in thousands, and Q always you will get it in liters per minute. Very important. So Q it is always you are getting in liters per minute, and P always you have to substitute in thousands. So remember this whenever, because even the units carrying the marks, in place of Q, wherever if you write liters per second, it is wrong, because these are the empirical formulas. Whatever they have said um, while giving the formulas, you have to strictly follow that, and no need to go for any conversions like why it is coming liters per minute, because they have conducted some study, like a continuous study of by taking some of the samples, and they have arrived this constant, that is 3182. It is based on the conversion from liter to minute or whatever it is, that conversion will be there. So we are not supposed to bother about that. Okay. So whenever the empirical formulas are given, um, irrespective, like no need to conversions, like why it is coming only in liters per minute, why it is coming only in liters per second. So it is better to follow uh, the what they have given in empirical formulas. So this is the first formula. So then second one is, that is a Freeman formula. So that 1136 p by 10 plus 10. So here also that population, it is in thousands, and the writer's formula, that is p is equal to 4637 root of p 1 minus 0.001 again root of p. So that will be one more formula. So then if nothing has given, suppose if you want to assume the values, what kind I have to use, or how much liters of water I have to use it, then you can use these values for small buildings or higher buildings, residential apartments. You can use this, that we already discussed. So take an example example. So determine determine the fire demand fire demand for the population of uh, 20,000 for the city city by using first one, Freeman's formula. Second one, Kuchling formula. Then third one, writers writers formula. Sometimes they may ask this writers as US uh, Army formula. That time also they may ask. So then first apply the first formula, what we have already discussed. That is Kuchling's formula. So Kuchling's formula, apply first one, given how much they have given, population is equal to 20,000. So when you convert this into thousands, p is equal to 1000 20. So it divided by 1000, get cancelled. So it is in 20. Why I'm converting this to thousands means, because your whatever the formulas are there, it all the things you have to substitute it in thousands only. So then apply um, population, uh, that is equal to um, q. We have to calculate the demand. The q is equal to, or the flow rate. Sometimes fire demand in the sense, it is how much quantity of water required only per minute or per liter per minute or whatever is there. So q is equal to 3182 root of p. So then 3182. So whenever you are substituting, substitute it as 20 here. So then you do the calculation how much you will get it. So this is the first, that is Kuchling formula. That is Kuchling formula. Second one, can apply Freeman's formula. Freeman's. So then to go back, the Freeman's formula is 1136 P by 10 plus 10. So apply this. And very important, I already said that Kuchling formula that is in liters per, always substitute in liters per minute only. So then Freeman's formula. So 1136, that is P by 10 plus 10. So here also you have to substitute 1136, 1136, that is P substituted in 20 only plus 10, and this is also you will get it in liter per minute. So then you just substitute, do the calculation, and here also you have to substitute P in thousands only. It is 20. Substituted in 20 only. So then you have the writer's formula, that is 4637 root of P 1 minus 0.001 against square root of P. So here also directly what you can take, substitute the P in thousands only, that is 20 only. So apply this formula only, writer's formula, that is 4637 root of P 1 minus 0.001 root of P. You substitute the P as 20 here. So then you will get here writer's formula. You want to can write writer's formula. So then that is Q 4637 root of P 1 minus 0.001 root of P. So if you substitute it, so it will be also in liters per minute. So so very simple problem. They may ask, only you have to remember the formulas. So this is the completion of your the first module. So in the first module, just we'll recap it. What are the things we have discussed? So starting with we have discussed what will be the need for protected water supply. So why we need the good quality of water? What happens if you give the bad quality of water? So then what are the standards we have that we discussed? So again we discussed how to calculate the quantity of water required for a particular city, how that can be calculated. So first you have to go for the population forecasting. So then after going for population forecasting, then um, then for 30 years usually the design period will be there. For example, if you are designing your water supply distribution network for uh, 30 years, so then population forecast the population for 30 years, then for that you have to calculate the water demands. And we have also did for um, also we did it for um, um, the rate of supply, rates of supply, that also we did it. For example, how much each person is required. So as normally, if nothing else they have mentioned it, you consider it as 135 lp city, there is a standard. But for some of this is as for a CPHO norms. if nothing is given. This is normally required for liters per capita per day. Means per person we require 135 liters. That is a standard. But in some of the cases it may increase, and in some of the cases it may decrease also, based on some of the clauses. I already said I have given in detail about that tabular column. What are the things are there? Sometimes if it is in rural places, it is LPC 70, LPCD. So that you have to follow. It is given in a CPHU manual also. That norms we have to always follow, because whenever the norms are given means they have conducted many experiments. They have taken uh, some of the case studies from many of the places. So they came to know that this is the standard. But now um, I already explained that in Jal Jeevan Mission, uh, this is the um, the project by the government of India uh, for the villages for the drinking water scheme. They said that it is 55 LPCD. So means per person minimum 55 liters per day you should give. This is the main objective of Jal Jeevan mission. But of course, uh, you have to check it out for what purpose you are giving it. This is for domestic purpose. Whatever we are discussing about, this is for domestic purpose. And other in agriculture purposes and all those things, they are totally different. Then industrial institutional purposes, they are totally different. At least I already given to you. So so then after this design period we discussed, and we have solved the problems based on the arithmetic increase method, geometric increase method, then incremental increase method, then logistic curve method, and we have also lastly we have calculated the fire demand for city having a population of 20,000. So this is the overall summary of the first module what we covered. And the main very important questions from this module is that first one, need for protected water supply. That is, then the problems definitely they will ask anyone, either it is from all three methods or rarely it will be from logistic curve method. And last priority, that is for the fire demand calculation. So that 100% or most of the time they will ask. Then some of the very important questions, that is a rate of variation of demand, that also they may ask. How the variation is going to happen, plot the curve, and explain the different population forecasting method. That is also one important question they may ask. So then we'll move on to the second module. So in the second module, it is completely related to an water treatment process. So means um, we in the first module we calculated the um, how exactly the population forecast can calculated. Then how the water can be uh, distributed to an a particular city or particular place. So then always this subject has to go in a proper channel only. Then how exactly it has to move? For example, uh, if we have a river water, this is the river water which you are supplying to a consumer. Then how exactly this has to, and what flow it has to go to an consumer end. So if the river water is there, then uh, assume that a city A, consider an example, city A you are giving. So then let's start what exactly the pattern or overall management of this water treatment process or water supply distribution network. What are the components? How exactly it should be there? So now you have source river water is there. So this I have to give it to the consumers. Then how I have to give it to the consumers? So that is the overall. Then in between, finally the end user is here. So assume that the end user is here. So in between, you have the river water is there. So then here you have intake structure. Intake structure. I'll tell you what is that intake structure. Then you have the water treatment process. Then here distribution network. Then finally it will be the end user. So then river water, of course, it is a source. So then we already know that river water, it consists of lot of contaminants. River water, it also consists of contaminants. So then which are those contaminants? What are the contaminants I have to check before sending to an water treatment process? So usually your water treatment process has to be decided based on what contaminants I have. What are the pollutants I have in my river water? So that I have to check it out. So then we have different water quality parameters. Normally we can call it as water quality parameters. I have to check it out first. I have to check water quality parameters for that. So we have around 24 parameters are there. That all the parameters we have to check it out in the source water itself. Then after that, which parameter is exceeding the norms? So we have drinking water quality standards are there. Drinking water quality standards are there. We have to check it out. That I already said that IS 10500 2012 code I have to refer. So in that, which parameters are exceeding? For example, one is pH, one is just I am taking some of the examples: chloride, nitrate. So like these parameters are among these three are from among the 24 parameters. Then which parameters assume that exceeding the limits? For example, pH. Just take an example of pH. So assume that I am getting pH 5. So what the norms? As for the norms, what it will say that it is 6.52. We'll see that 8.5. 6.5 to 8.5. So this now, but I am getting the pH of 5 in my source, reverse source. Then I have to increase the pH from 5 to 6.5. Then I have to increase it to 6.5. Then it has to be transported to a water treatment process only. So then for this, if the chlorides, if it is increasing, so then I have to reduce. Some of the methods are there that we'll discuss. So first, our job is that you have to test the river water. So whichever the first the sample is given, if the river water is given, go for sampling first. So we have again we'll discuss how exactly the sampling has to be done. It has systematic processes there that we will discuss how exactly the sampling has to be done. What are the methods are there? Then go for testing first. So once it is done, you have to what kind of treatment process I have to design. This is interlinked with this process. Then, okay, river water is there. City A, we have to supply it. So how many members are there in the city? So again, we have to calculate. Again, we have to design it. So that we already did in the first module. Assume that if we have 10,000 people are there. then multiply by 135 LPCD. So then we got this much cube, means cube, meter cube, we will get it. 10,000 people are there. Per person, 135 liters per capita per day is required. So multiply it. That much quantity of water you have to supply. Then you have to design the intake structure for this. Means 10,000 into 135. So that is almost 135, then 00. So this much liters per day capacity has to be designed for the intake structure. Then very important, and if this 10,000 should be for 30 years. First, before that, you have to forecast the population. Forecast the population. Assume that the 10,000 is after 30 years. After 30 years. After 30 years. So then intake structure has to be designed even for the 30 years. Then water treatment process. Then which items I have to include in the water treatment process. So that has to be decided based on the source of water itself, or the quality of the source of water. So then once water is treated, assume that all 24 parameters, if they are within the limits, then supply to an consumer. So it has to go in a distribution network. Whenever if you are going with a distribution network, see again the design is there. So how exactly my distribution has to be designed? Distribution network has to be designed. So then, so I already said in the first class, what is the main objective of a distribution network is that sufficient pressure has to be maintained at the consumer end. And then how much it should be? So 7 meter always for the first storage building. First storage building. First storage building that has to be maintained. So then only my distribution network is correct. Then the end user is satisfied. The end user is satisfied. So this is complete process of water management system in the any of the cities. Okay. If they ask any questions related to what will be the water management system in a particular city, so then what you have to do is that you have to explain all these things. So it will start with the source, the intake structure. The intake structure is nothing but it is the structure related to calculate the quantity of water or keeping any of the pumping machinery. For example, jack well normally will do that. We'll explain that what exactly the intake structure is. Whenever we start the it is there in our second module. Okay. In water treatment process, the water treatment process is dependent on the quality of the source of water. That always you have to remember. Then once it is purified, or once it is said that it is following the IS code, that is IS 10500 2012, then it has to be distributed to an consumer with a proper designing. So then this is overall about the water treatment process and the things. So in the next class we'll stick on to the second module, and we'll try to complete within 6 to 8 hours of class. So this is about the uh, the starting of your second module. If you have any doubts, you can ask.